only ate a quarter of it, so I get back to it if I even do. No, I put it in the fridge. I was like, I don't want.
And welcome back. We just missed the finish there, but a really exciting race from the under 23 men's quad. Crescent winning in a time unofficially of 6:15.59, just about 2.5 seconds over Penn AC and St. Catharines in third. These guys will be competing for the Captain Charles E. Hooper Memorial Trophy. Captain Hooper was a faithful and tireless worker on behalf of rowing. He was captain of the West Side Rowing Club in 1937 and was on the 1949 U.S. National Regatta Committee.
There we have a nice shot, Ali, of the Crescent crew that was just finished first in that race, looking very tired. It was a long way to go, and they were pushed the whole way down.
Absolutely. These guys were relentless. I was commenting earlier, it looked like they were coming across the line. Their stroke rate was sky high. They weren't going to back down and give anybody a chance at coming across the line first.
And as we chatted during the break, this was the third crew. This was the third race, third final of the day. And it was my pick for a winner, Ali, as they had the fastest time coming out of the heats. 6:03 the other day to qualify for this final race. So I'm sticking with the times seem to be coming through, showing that you perform in the if you can perform in the heats with fast times, you're well on your way.
Absolutely. I think that's something that's almost unique to the Henley Regatta. It's the progression system from heats to semifinals to finals. At the end of the day, you really have to be able to beat every single person in your field in order to win Henley Gold.
And here we see the Crescent crew. They've been called into the dock to receive their medals in front of the grandstands. It's a beautiful day out there with the grandstands packed with people watching the finish of the race here at the Henley Regatta.
I know I spoke to a number of people today in Port Dalhousie. Some people had traveled not very far. Others had driven 2+ hours to come and watch racing today. And I said, you picked a great day. It's going to be exciting, and the weather's really cooperating for us.
There, a nice shot of the grandstand. And this is the start of the next race. Ali has just left the starting gates, the under 17 women's coxed 4.
Again, another event that I definitely have a soft spot for. I've coached many crews that have competed in this event. These girls, they might be under 17, but they're pretty tough. They've made it through, I think, quite a huge field of entries to make it to this point today in the final. Well,
I looked that up, Ali. There was actually 30 entries in this race that started in heats on Thursday morning. And they're down to the top 6 now. So if you're rowing today in the final, you should be mighty proud of yourself. It's a great accomplishment to make a final at Henley in these big events with large entries.
Absolutely. We're looking at Westside in lane 2, Saratoga in lane 3, Thompson Boat Club lane 4, Buffalo Scholastic lane 5, St. Catharines lane 6, and Bear Hill in lane 7. TBC, of course, won this event last year in a time of 7 minutes, 24 seconds. They're probably looking to go for a repeat performance here today.
Well, Ali, I'd have to take a different idea. The crew in lane 6 from St. Catharines had substantially faster time. Now, maybe the TBC crew wasn't pushed in their heat, but St. Catharines crew finished this semifinal yesterday in a 7:15, and I'm picking them in lane 6 to come through on this race.
Absolutely. A nice shot there of the gentleman from Crescent stepping on the podium to receive their Henley Gold medals.
Yes, that's well-deserved, well-deserved. That was a hard-fought race for them, and they certainly a lot to be proud of. Those are special medals, those Henley medals.
This year for the 135th anniversary, they've got a special ribbon, as well as a slightly modified design from the Henley Gold medals you might be familiar with.
And here we are back on the in the race, Ali, the under 17 women's cox 4, probably about the 750 meter mark in the race. It's hard to tell from here. I'm thinking that's the St. Catharines crew. Or no, it would be the far side. This would be CRI. Hard to tell here.
Yeah, definitely hard to tell from this angle. I know the girls in that St. Catharines 4, their coach, Lizzie and Ezzy, was also my first rowing coach. So got a bit of a hometown advantage there for those girls.
But now that the crews come a little closer, I think Alio is right. That is the St. Catharines crew. We don't see the other crews on the inside of the course. The St. Catharines crew is in lane 6, and they appear to be leading the race over the Bear Hill in lane 7 and Buffalo Scholastic in lane 5.
Absolutely. These girls will be approaching the 1,000-meter mark now. That's about the top of Henley Island, which will probably be packed with, especially that front section of the compound. All the St. Catharines athletes, all the coaches, probably some friends and parents who are on the island, and they'll be racing towards the grandstands.
And there they've just passed the 1,000-meter mark. And they're into this third 5, Ali. This third 5 is always a tough part of the race. You're over halfway done, but you're still a long way from the finish.
This is exactly it. It's where it really starts to hit you that it's 2,000 meters. You know, you've made it halfway, but there's still 1,000 meters or just under now to go.
Ali, I just see this crew now coming into the right side of the screen. I think this is the TBC crew in lane 4. Perhaps giving the St. Catharines crew a real go here in the third 5.
And these girls especially, you know, they know their crewmates, or possibly even some of the girls in this crew, won it last year.
Ali, here's a good shot of the TBC crew. You can see the coxie in the bow with the head just above the deck of the boat. They're steering the boat and they're calling the race.
Definitely, I think the trend now is completely towards those bow loader coxswains. They don't sit in the stern facing the athletes. They sit up in the front, and they really look like little Formula One drivers.
This is a great race. Here we come up to the 1,500 meter mark, and yes, the TBC crew has really moved in the third 5, and now they have a full-length lead going into the bottom 5.
And rowing really nicely.
Yes, they're much like a race we saw earlier today. They want to be comfortable, they want to push, and they're not going to let anybody catch up at this point.
Well, and I think speaking as a coxswain, it's at this point you don't know. You only know you're winning. It's hard to look behind you and know how much you're winning by. These drivers, these athletes, they'll be saying, I want more, because you don't really know. Your athletes aren't really capable of giving you a full answer of how far behind the competition really is.
Here's another shot of the field behind the leader, but you can see all those crews are still going for it. There's still no one, everybody wants to finish as high up in the field as they can.
That's a really nice shot of that finish stretch there. Those girls know as soon as they hit those red buoys, they've got 250 meters to go, and not one crew in this field is going to back down.
There's a shot from our grandstand camera, Ali, with the crews coming in. There's TBC on the right-hand side of the screen. The lane 4 crew.
This is spectacular rowing. These girls should be really, really proud of themselves, as their coaches should be as well. They're racing in a tight competition.
Yes, there they are. Just probably between 5 or 10 strokes from the finish line, just putting in those last few strokes together. And you can see these girls are tired. These girls are tired.
Sometimes when you look at these girls, you think, how are they, you know, they're small girls, but they're tough. They've trained all summer for this.
There's TBC, and they're elated. They're elated. The Coxie's just elated with this performance.
That's awesome. Those are the kind of friendships these girls will have for the rest of their lives, for sure. And they're pretty excited to have unofficially Henley gold.
Yes, this is a memory they'll have for the rest of their life. You're exactly right, Ali. There's the Buffalo crew behind them, just as exhausted.
Congratulations to TBC. They'll be winning the Doc and Kalina Schaub Trophy. Doc was a longtime worker for rowing at the Westside Rowing Club. He was the club's 4th president. Kalina was a fixture in the Henley Grandstand for many years. She and Doc had 2 sons, Jim and Dennis, both of whom had successful rowing careers. Jim also served as club president for Westside, and he's the craftsman who actually created the trophy to honor his parents.
Oh, I wonder if they'll be giving out the trophy today, if one of the Schaub family will be giving out the trophy today. We'll have
Definitely.
We'll have to watch for that.
The presentation of medals and trophy and the plaque is a really special moment, not just for the athletes who are receiving the award, but for the people presenting as well.
And there they are, and here we are at the start, Ali. These races, these final races are 10 minutes apart, and the umpires at the Henley Regatta keep these finals right on time. This is the start of the under-19 men's pair. This event started with 45 entries on Thursday morning in heats, and so we're now down to the top 6.
We have in lane 2, Conshohocken, lane 3, South Niagara, lane 4, St. Catharines, lane 5, Hudson River, lane 6, Washtenaw, and lane 7, Monmouth.
Well, I'm glad you did those crew names, Ali.
I got about halfway through and I was a little worried for myself there. Oh, we have some adult spectators enjoying a cold beverage at the finish line there.
This is a fun place to be. We're up here doing this announcing. We're actually in the top of the boathouse on the island for the people at home. But we have a lot of monitors. We can see what's going on, a lot of the cameras, and we can hear out the window the cheers as the crews row past the island.
I've spent a lot of Saturdays in my life, Henley Saturday, in those grandstands cheering for athletes and friends, and even sometimes you just pick your favorite race and you cheer for them too.
And as it's coming up on 3:15, I'm sure we'll be at the start of the next pair race of the under 19 men's pair race. They'll be just under the referee's instructions now, and the race will be starting very soon.
Big smiles from Thompson Boat Club as they approach the dock.
Yes, I'm sure they'll be getting out of the boat and hugging each other with great memories today for them.
This is definitely a nice photo op for mom and dad who might be in the stands too.
Ali, I knew this was going to happen because it happens after every race.
I think it's really special.
Yes, yes. These will be friends for life. We're seeing now the presentation to the TBC crew.
Great shot there in the corner from our drone camera as well, kind of just hovering over top of the U19 men's pair final.
And I believe, Ali, I just saw Jim Schaub in the phone in the shot. He came to congratulate the crew. A very good friend from Buffalo West Side.
A lot of trophies that I've learned over the past couple of days that have been donated from West Side, really just showing the connection between Buffalo and St. Catharines, really just a short drive over the border.
Yes, West Side's been coming to the Henley Regatta for a long, long time, and they have a great history here. But here's a happy crew, a very happy crew with their trophies and medals. And here we are back on the under 19 men's pair, Ali, from our drone camera again. If you're just joining us, we have the opportunity to follow the races with the drone camera.
I'd say it looks like St. Catharines leading over Hudson River there.
I believe you're right, Ali. St. Catharines in lane 4, Hudson River in lane 5. Possibly South Niagara in lane 6 is third, in lane 3 is third. As they're coming up to the 1,000-meter pylon.
Still a really tight race between those two entries in lanes 4 and 5, St. Catharines and Hudson River. We'll take you now to the winning crew for the U17 Women's Coxed 4.
Coxed 4, congratulations, ladies. Can we get your names? Coxed 4, congratulations.
I'm Sophia Donovan. Gordon Benedict. Peyton Gordon. I'm Leah Till. Eliza Fisher.
Congratulations, ladies. Can you just maybe the coxswain is probably a little less tired. Can you just speak to what the race was like, how it unfolded?
So it was definitely a dogfight. Off the start, we really had to fight for it. We focused on lengthening out, just like our coach really wanted us to do. She's a great coach. And then we took a bunch of moves, and then we really felt the power of the boat. By the sprint, we were good.
Fantastic. Congratulations again, Thompson Rowing Club. Have a good one.
Thank you.
And welcome back to the under 23, sorry, the under 19 men's pair. Here we are coming into the 1,500-meter mark. St. Catharines Rowing Club in lane 4 leading the field here. It appears by open water.
Great shot of Andrew Allen and Mitchell Rogers.
Hudson River there in lane 5 in second place.
These gentlemen will be racing for the Jamie Wilson, now Jim Award. Jamie Wilson was a St. Catharines athlete, and the name of this trophy comes from the humorous way he was invariably greeted by with his friends. Instead of saying hello or hi, he was greeted with a loud and boisterous, "Now, Jim," and never failed to put a smile on people's faces. The name of the trophy epitomizes Jamie's spirit and the positive influence he had on the people around him. The trophy was created by Perry Wakulich, who competed against Jamie in cross-country running, track, and wrestling, but they'd also raced together for Lakeport Secondary School.
And these St. Catharines athletes would be very happy to win this trophy today. There they are coming into the last maybe 200 meters now, Ali, well into the red buoys.
And these are still young guys, but they're racing like they're seasoned athletes. They look very mature and very composed out there.
They really do, Ali. Even this late in the race, they're rowing very well, very smooth, and they know that anything can happen, especially in these pairs.
Especially in these pairs. You know, the steering, one guy starts to get more fatigued than the other. You can even see here, it looks like they're getting a little bit close to each other in these final few strokes.
I think this Hudson crew is really giving them a go in this last few strokes.
I think this is going to come down to who's got more guts. Oh my gosh.
This is going to be an excellent finish. And as we come up to the finish line,
St. Catharines barely making it through over top of Hudson River. That was a fantastic race by these young guys.
Yes, and they're very happy about it. And they wave over to their competitors, as they often do, I always do, congratulating them
For sure. I think these guys know that when they put down a fast time, you know, it's because somebody else really pushed them there. And Hudson River wasn't going to let St. Catharines walk away without a really good fight.
No, I think it means more, Ali. It means more to the athletes when it's hard to win.
I agree.
And there's not very many medals that are harder to win than the Henley. Some of these events have a lot of competitors. As we noted earlier, this race started on Thursday morning with 45 different crews, and we're down to one winner.
Fantastic performance. Andrew Allen and Mitchell Rogers from St. Catharines and their coach, Mike Petrochenko.
The regatta personnel will be at the grandstands now. Ali calling the St. Catharines crew in to accept their medals and trophies.
In the gates now, we've got the under 23 women's lightweight double. We have competitors from Union Boat Club, Leander, UBC, Craftsbury, UVic, and California Rowing Club. Last year's winner came from the Charles River Scullers in a time of 7 minutes, 27 seconds.
Well, Ali, I looked at the times again from the heats, and the crew in lane 4 had a 7:16 finish time in their semifinal. The crew in lane 5 from Craftsbury had the exact same finish time, 7:16. So this might be a really good race between lanes 4 and 5, but I wouldn't count anybody out.
Definitely. I know yesterday we saw Craftsbury take the win in the under 23 lightweight pair, women's pair. But I noticed in lane 3 we have Mima Okuda-Refus from Leander, who won the under 23 lightweight women's single just a couple days ago.
And they're just under the starter's instructions now. The starter will be giving them, doing a roll call, calling each one of the crews by name across, so they know that they have to get ready now, and they'll be starting any minute. Here's the St. Catharines junior under 19 men's pair. Elated about that race. Here we can see the umpire boat getting into position, so we know this is just seconds away, and there it goes.
These lightweight women know that to get a good start, they're going to have to really get the stroke rate up really high very quickly. Nice close-up there. You can see the yellow and blue of UVic in lane 6. And beside them with the bright green, of course, is Craftsbury in lane 5.
Some great scullers out of Craftsbury over the years.
Definitely something we've come to recognize from Craftsbury.
And here on the right side of the screen is the UBC crew.
Nice to see both UVic and UBC representing the west coast of Canada, and two very strong collegiate programs that'll kind of ramp up over the next couple of weeks as we approach the beginning of a new school year.
There we have a good shot of the UVic lightweight women's double.
That's Hannah Taft and Alana Ward.
Rowing nice and clean. Nice and strong, nice and long, nice and clean. Craftsbury not to be outdone there. Right beside them. Hard to tell from this angle, our camera angle right now, Ali, who's in the lead.
Yeah.
But it looks like an excellent race.
Those three boats keeping it really close together on that side of the course.
This is
Leander also
wow.
looking very strong. I'd say Craftsbury and then Leander and UVic look like they're fighting it out.
There's 4 boats there, Ali, within
Certainly.
half a boat length, and nobody's giving up on this. Here we are about the 600-meter mark. This is when the pain really starts to the athletes really start to feel the pain at this point in the race.
And I think it's usually a challenging part of the week for some lightweight athletes who've had to weigh in every single morning, now probably since Tuesday in some cases. So Tuesday morning, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It takes a toll.
Here's our drone shot again. And from this point of view, it looks like Craftsbury is slightly ahead. Oh.
Maybe what the race felt like.
Mitchell Rogers, it was surprising because we're usually behind after the first 5, and we were actually in front for once. It was nice.
Yeah, Andrew Allen and
follow
just
these
felt
people
pretty
to
good,
the
pretty
1,000 and
fast.
speed back here.
Feels nice and feels good to bring one home for St. Catharines. I bet it's probably nice defending the title kind of in your hometown. Is there anyone you want to say thank you to?
Just thanks to the boys in the 8. They push us every day, you know, we train along with them.
I want to thank our parents and our coaches too. They push us hard every day.
I want to thank Fat Ergos.
Ergos, oh yeah.
Just for motivating me every day to just rip girthier ergos, you know?
All right.
Lots the better.
Great. Thanks, boys. Congratulations.
No problem, thank you.
They just want to grab you for the standard.
Oh, okay.
Here we are, Ali, following the under 23 women's lightweight double at the 1,000-meter mark. It looks like Craftsbury in lane 5 leading this race. Very tight for second.
Absolutely. Looking really, really strong. I think that's something we've come to expect a little bit from Craftsbury.
But a very tight field. This race is a long way from over, and these athletes will be pushing this third 5 because they know how difficult it is for some.
Now, Marilyn and Grace in that double were the actual athletes that won the under-23 women's lightweight pair yesterday. So I think they're probably looking to go back-to-back 2 days in a row.
Oh, that's a fantastic result and more motivation, confidence builder yesterday.
Absolutely. They'll be racing for the Jack G. Burkhout Trophy. Jack Burkhout was a founding member of the South Niagara Rowing Club in 1976 and president of Ridley Graduate Boat Club from 1985 to 1991.
As these girls row up to the 1,500-meter pylon here, still looking very good. These are well-trained athletes, and they row very well, very clean. This looks like
Still another great shot of you, Vic, there, pushing those Craftsbury athletes.
I think this is our leaders on the left-hand side. Oh, this is very close. This is very close,
fantastic.
Coming up to the 1,500-meter mark. Less than a boat length, about 3/4 of a boat length lead. Craftsbury over California at the 1,500-meter mark. Both these crews will be going for it now. They won't wait. And there you can see the other crews.
UBC in lane 4, lane 3, Leander, and lane 2, Union Boat Club.
Rowing very well. That Craftsbury crew rowing very well, very clean right now, and they're trying to get everything they can out of these last 250 meters. There, we can see on our screen for the people at home, we can see the red buoys further down the course. The red buoys represent the last 250 meters of a race, and the athletes know when they get in those red buoys, there's 25 strokes left, 20 to 25 strokes left, and they have to go.
Yeah, these girls look, they're definitely pushing hard. They're probably feeling some of the fatigue from yesterday, but they know Henley Gold is just a couple of strokes away if they hang on to that lead.
A lot to be thinking about. They're also thinking about steering at this point in the race. They don't want to get their blades hung up on one of those buoys. Those buoys are tied to a long cable that runs the length of the course, but they have short cables underneath each buoy to tie it down. And when your blade gets, Ali, this is a really exciting finish.
This is looking pretty tight. I think fans in the grandstands
This
are
UVic
probably
crew
cheering.
is pulled right up.
I think that's California,
California crew
lane
has
7.
They are really going for it. This will be very close. We're on an angle here.
Wow, Craftsbury.
I think it was Craftsbury just ahead of California.
But a fantastic performance from California. You can tell there, they really worked for it. Unofficially, I'd say that's the two-peat for Marilyn Garberg and Grace Joyce from Craftsbury.
Totally exhausted, and you could see them just shaking hands earlier.
Just over a second and a half overhead of that lane 7 crew, California. UBC 2.5 seconds behind them in third.
So well done for all the crews. And there's our winners of the under 23 women's lightweight double.
These girls will be pros at this point. They'll know the drill at this point to go and receive their medals, and I look forward to their post-race interview as well.
So as we look at the time, Ali, we're 3:33. We're only 2 minutes away from the next race, the under 17 men's single. A nice little shot of the people on the island watching races, some of the equipment we have.
A fantastic shot of the Hudson Boatworks Be a Shark truck.
Yes, this is a fun week for people that visit the island.
It really turns into almost like a little mini rowing festival on the island there.
Tents line the island, the front of the island from one end to the other, and the athletes, the thousands of athletes that were here this weekend, or this right through the week, I'm sure have enjoyed a lot of good racing.
Mike, I want to know how I get a parking spot like these guys.
I think you have to have a truck that pulls a boat trailer, Ali.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to buy a truck just to have a parking place like that, but
My Jetta might not cut it.
I don't think so. Can it pull a trailer?
Probably a small one.
Here we are with the people that come right. Here we are at the grandstand, Ali. This is the Craftsbury girls. Really happy about that performance.
That's got to be an exciting feeling. These girls really have shown they're the best of the best, really, in under 23 lightweight women's rowing at this regatta. They can scull, they can sweep.
Yes. There's a shot of the next race, Ali. The under 17 men's single is just left to start.
We have Argonaut lane 2, Narragansett lane 3, Maritime lane 4, Dawn Rowing Club lane 5, Calgary lane 6, and Cascadilla in lane 7.
There we see, you can see the Cascadilla sculler on the left, the Calgary sculler on the right of our screen right now, with the Dawn Rowing Club sculler just coming in the blue, just coming into the screen on the right-hand side.
Now, in years past, this has proven to be a very exciting race. Last year, the Calgary Rowing Club athlete Carl Hare beat Ridley Graduate by 0.009 seconds. That was a real barn burner. These guys are racing for the Mike Wilson Memorial Trophy. Mike rowed and coached for the St. Catharines Rowing Club. In 1976, he won Henley Gold in the junior 135-pound 8. He was also president of the St. Catharines Rowing Alumni in 2003. The trophy was created by St. Catharines artist Perry Wakulich.
Here we are coming up to the 500-meter mark, Alan, with the, looks like the Dawn Rowing Club sculler, Stephen Harris, leading the field at this point.
This is an exciting race. I think for a lot of these guys, they're, just getting their first taste of competitive rowing in the single. We've got Ottawa Rowing Club, perhaps, out in lane 2, giving him a good push.
Argonaut.
Argonaut.
No, it would be the lane 3 sculler from Narragansett is was second place going through that 500-meter mark. This race started Thursday morning with 67 entries, Ali. These boys have done well to get to the final today.
That's pretty impressive, just to make it through to the final and be one of the final, looks like 6 guys, I'm sorry.
They had to finish probably top 2 in their semifinal, in their heat, and again top 2 in their semifinal yesterday.
We're going to take you now to the winners of the under-23 lightweight women's double.
So we're here with Craftsbury, the ladies that just won the under-23 lightweight women's double. Can we get your names?
I'm Marilyn Garberg. And I'm Grace Joyce.
Congratulations, girls. What does this win mean to you?
It means a lot. Grace and I have been rowing together for a while, and we just started really sculling this summer, and we worked really hard. So it's great to race with her in a new boat, something that's so new to us.
It is always nice to win with a friend. Do you guys have any plans for what you're going to do next with this combination?
Not so far. We usually sweep during the school year, but this summer we focus mainly on sculling at Craftsbury, so we'll probably be in sweep boats for the school year.
All right, well, congratulations and good work again today.
Thank you.
Ellie, here we are back from our drone camera following the under-17 men's single.
Still looks like Narragansett, John Greenberg, and the Don Rowing Club athlete, Stephen Harris, battling it out up there, leaving the rest of the field a little bit further behind.
Ellie, these two athletes raced each other in their semifinal yesterday and battled all the way down to the finish line, finishing with Stephen from Don Rowing Club finishing .19, less than 0.2 of a second ahead of Jonathan from Narragansett.
So these guys are tired from racing yesterday, but they know their competition. Maybe they remember from yesterday where the other guy might have tried to sprint, maybe put in a move. They're going to be trying to do everything they can in their kind of bag of tricks of strategy to try and push ahead of that other guy.
Here they are about the 1,250 meter mark, Ellie, in the race. As they go past the island, I'm sure they'll be hearing the cheers from their crewmates and friends from their clubs, and this will be exciting for them.
Stephen Harris's coach from Don Rowing Club, Horatio, just came back from coaching the women's junior national team.
Nice shot from our drone camera, Ellie. We're very lucky to have that. It's given us some beautiful pictures of the racing today, as well as the island. Here we are coming up to the 1,500 meter mark.
Stephen Harris from Don Rowing Club,
He had
looking very strong.
Ellie, he's had an incredible third 5 and really pushed hard to get that kind of length lead.
Jonathan Greenberg from Narragansett not giving up, though, and both of these guys just leaving the rest of the competition in their dust. Hard to believe when you look at these two athletes, they are under 17. They won't turn 18 this year. They're young guys.
Yes, and there they are coming into the last about 300 meters to go. They'll both be pushing. It's not over till it's over. And they don't give up easily.
You definitely won't know if, the other guy might run out of gas. They've had a really hard uphill battle, obviously, to make it to this point today. And now it's go time.
And here's a shot from the finish line, from the grandstand camera again, Ellie, as they are now, we can see they're into the red buoys, well into the red buoys, and coming down to the finish, probably 15 to 20 strokes left.
The Don Rowing Club athlete looking very strong.
But you can see the high rate.
Jonathan Greenberg from Narragansett.
He's really pushing. He's really taking the rate up. You can see that he's going very hard to make up everything he can.
Hard to see from this angle, but wow, he really turned it on there, had quite the finish sprint.
Yeah.
Wow. He made up quite a bit of distance. That was fantastic. I'd say hard to tell there. It looks like Don Rowing Club crossed the line first, but Narragansett not making it easy for him.
Just slunched over now, totally exhausted.
Hard to even celebrate at this point. He just wants to get his feet out of the shoes as fast as he can.
Yes, there's some deep breathing going out there, right now.
It's a hot day, that's for sure. These guys worked hard. You can see there his blue speed coach. That would have been giving him feedback as he pushed to a 7-minute, 15-second finish. Less than a second over top of Narragansett.
Yes, well done. Congratulations to Stephen Harris. If you're just joining us, it's Mike Purser and Ali Zimmerman, your commentators for this afternoon's 135th Royal Canadian Henley here in St. Catharines on the Henley course.
Couldn't ask for a better day out on Martindale Pond. As we mentioned before, you've got a great shot of the grandstands down there. Some spectators. There's some people enjoying a cold drink, other people in the stands waiting for their friends' race, waiting for their teammates' race.
There's a shot of the start for the senior men's lightweight pair. This race, Ali, is a final only. There were no heats to get to this race, but there's some very good crews out there.
Definitely.
Lane 3 is Ottawa, Lane 4 is Ottawa, Lane 5 Undine, Lane 6 is TBC, the Thompson Boat Club, and Lane 7 is Peterborough.
If I were looking at this draw, one name really jumps out at me. It's Josh King in the Lane 4 Ottawa crew. Josh has so far won both the senior men's single and senior lightweight men's single. So this will be Josh's third event of this regatta.
Yes, the crews at the start will just be under the starter's instructions now, as there's less than a minute to go before the start of the race.
These are all senior athletes. Many of them will be very experienced. Some of them might still be in that under 23 category and racing up against some of the older guys for more experience.
Yes, we can see the umpire boat drifting over to get in right behind this pair race. Pairs can quickly go off course and have steering trouble. There they go, the start of the race. You can see how quickly the umpires get in behind to make sure the two crews don't interfere with one another. They stay in their lanes in that early part of the race when it's harder to keep your boat going, when it's just accelerating.
Once these guys find that rhythm, it gets a little bit easier to kind of keep things straight. It feels a little more familiar to the body pace that they're probably used to training at. They'll be racing for the John L. Murray Memorial Trophy. John Murray was a Kingston High School teacher and a principal. He served as secretary of the Canadian Association of Amateur Oarsmen for 47 years, between 1929 and 1976. He accepted entries. He made the draw. He collected entry fees. He assigned referees. He kept results. He handed out plaques and medals. He compiled points. He even made the PA announcements and answered the grandstand telephone. For his contribution to Canada, John received the Queen Elizabeth II Silver Jubilee Medal in 1977.
Ali, here's a good shot of the Lane 4 Ottawa crew with Josh and Jason. And I'm thinking it's hard to tell from this angle, but this is a really good race coming into the 500-meter mark. But it's lane 4 Ottawa through the 500-meter mark first with.
Not quite open water for that Lane 4 Ottawa crew, but I think it just speaks to Josh's strength as an oarsman. He can scull, he can sweep, and at least in the first 500 meters, they're looking pretty strong.
Yes, they certainly are rowing very well. Good timing, good length. And nice clean release at the finish. This is good rowing, Ali. All these crews are rowing very nicely.
I think somebody's ability to row a pair really speaks highly. I have never rowed a pair as a coxswain, but I'm sure I can appreciate good rowing when I see it.
There's our drone, our view from the drone camera, Ali. We see the Ottawa crew in lane 4, and a nice, and perhaps the TBC crew, second place, just ahead of Peterborough and the Ottawa crew in lane 3, very close for third.
Really good racing between Thompson Boat Club and Peterborough in lane 6 and 7. It's really good to have that competition side by side.
And Ali, in this shot, we can see the umpire boat staying very close to the race. They want to be in a position where they can keep these boats apart. They don't want these boats to collide late in the race, especially in a final.
Shoot.
And they're going to be very close to the leading boats in the last part of this race.
We just saw a nice shot in the picture-in-picture there of Ian Wilson presenting the Mike Wilson Memorial Trophy to the winner of the under-17 men's single.
This is our senior men's lightweight pair coming up to the 1,000-meter mark.
These guys are still really going for it.
Through the 1,000 and in this all-important third 5 that people are pushing. Experienced athletes know how much they really have to give in this third 5. There's our leading crew, Ali, Ottawa in lane 4, just on the right-hand side of the screen.
Yeah, Josh and Jason just looking like they're in control of this. Always tough to tell from this angle. You never really know what's unfolding until we get things perpendicular on our screen.
And Ali, I've just seen the umpire boat in the background directing the TBC crew to their left. So they may be having steering difficulties at this point in the race.
We'll take you now to the winner of the under-17 men's single.
Congratulations on winning the U17 men's single. Can we get your name?
Stephen Harris.
Congratulations, Stephen of the Don Rowing Club. What was, when did you put in the move that really kind of won the race for you?
I kind of pulled away. I've raced him before a few times, and he always got out in front, and then I had to catch him. But today I got out in front with him, and my middle strong piece is really strong, so I just used that to move through him. So I'd say around the 750.
Awesome. Congratulations. Well done today. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. I just want to say something quickly. I know I have family watching this, and I just want to say hi. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
We're back in the final stretch of this senior men's lightweight pair event.
Yes, Ali, it's the Ottawa Rowing Club in lane 4 that's been leading the race right from the beginning. And they're in the last 20 strokes to go, coming up to the finish.
Just in the last 10 minutes or so, Mike, it looks like a bit of a headwind has picked up. Probably not something that lightweight rowers are really looking forward to. These guys are going to have to work a little bit harder as they approach that finish line.
Still rowing very smoothly, very strong. And just off to the left of our screen is the leader, we believe, in the race. Last 20 strokes, though, is always a hard-fought battle for crews sprinting down to the finish. And here we have the camera from the grandstands showing them coming up to the finish line now. And it does look like lane 4 Ottawa. Josh and Jason.
That will make it 3 Henley gold medals in as many days for Josh King.
He looks very tired. He looks very tired,
If
Ali.
he's not tired by now, Mike, he's doing it wrong. But that's some fantastic rowing from both Ottawa lightweight men's doubles, as well as Thompson Boat Club, Undine, and Peterborough.
Yes, well done by all crews out there. And there you have the results. For the senior men's lightweight pair. So we'll be getting ready, Ali, for the next race. Very soon is about 3 minutes away. The under 23 men's lightweight double.
Yeah, we've got 2 lightweight men's events back to back, which is an exciting set of races. We have Saratoga, Amadeus, Argentina, Peterborough, St. Catharines, and Riverside, all of whom I know produce very strong lightweight rowers.
Yes, this has been a big field. This event, Ali, started with 25 entries on Thursday, and they whittled it down to the top 6 here. So this should be a very good race. Again, we look at the times, the fast times from the semifinals, Argentina in lane 4 and Peterborough in lane 5, both at a 6:29 finish time. So the race could be in the middle of the course on this in this final.
These gentlemen will be racing for the Thomas Croston Trophy. Thomas rowed for the Vancouver Rowing Club. He was involved in staging the 1970 World Rowing Championships on this Henley course. Tom was president of the Canadian Association of Amateur Oarsmen in 1974 and 75. In his later years, he would become a finish judge at the Henley Regatta.
This is a great shot of the boats at the start, Ali, as they're under the instructions from the umpires now, the starters, who are in that little booth to the right of the platform, watching all the crews, making sure they're straight, making sure they're ready before they start the race. And I can see them reaching out now, so they're probably only seconds away from the start.
Last year's winner in this event was the Ottawa Rowing Club in a time of 6 minutes, 32 seconds.
Here we are at the grandstand shot here now, watching Josh and Jason getting their medals and trophy. Happy, tired.
A great shot of those guys. They should be really proud of themselves. And we're back to the start of the under 23 lightweight men's double. There they go.
It looks like all crews got a nice start, all the way even, and they're on their way.
Now, Mike, you can probably speak to this a little bit, but there's an equipment breakage rule. So I think in those first 100 meters, is 100 meters, Mike?
Yes, Ali, but this has been changed recently. This is the second year that the coaches, the rule has changed that there is no, they will not stop the race for broken equipment.
See, this is why it's a good thing to ask these questions.
No, they have to be prepared to go. The equipment nowadays is so well built that they're expected to have their boats in top shape and ready to go.
Absolutely, and I think with all the boat builders, things are pretty predictable. We'll take you to the winners of the senior lightweight men's pair now.
Lightweight men's pair, event 44. Can we get your names?
Jason Suksdorf and Joshua King.
Congratulations on the win, guys. What are the conditions like up there in the top 1,000?
It was pretty close, or calm for the first 1,000, and then after that there was like a pretty crazy crosswind that I think hammered everyone over to the side, but we managed to just stay clean and bring it back in line, and didn't affect us too much.
Excellent. Now, did you lead the whole way down?
Yeah, we've actually been working on our starts a lot, so our only goal for this race was to just have a really clean start, and I think we did that pretty well.
Excellent. Well, it looks like you guys did pretty well today. Any more races this weekend?
I'm in the lightweight 8 tomorrow, and that's it.
I have the champ single and the lightweight quad tomorrow.
Excellent. Well, congratulations again, guys, and good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Thank you. Thanks.
Here we are. We're back following the under 23 men's lightweight double, Ali. They're well into the race now. I think they would be about the 800-meter mark. I think this is the 1,000-meter pylon in the background that we can see the lane markers across above the lanes. And they'll be coming into view really soon.
Argentina certainly at the beginning of this regatta, Thursday and Friday, were taking home quite a few medals.
And we can just see their blades on the right-hand side of the screen now, Ali. I think they might be leading this race. Although Peterborough would be on their left, outside our screenshot right now. We should see them very soon.
And the two athletes from St. Catharines, Alex Powell and Taylor Ashwood, both have pretty impressive rowing resumes of their own.
Yes, here we are with our drone shot, Ali. It's definitely Argentina in the lead with Peterborough in second. Maybe Riverside over in lane 7, third. St. Catharines just behind them in fourth. And the crew from...
Amadeus.
Yes, Amadeus fifth. The Saratoga crew is probably just off the screen. Beautiful shot from the drone camera that we've used yesterday and today. It's been fantastic views.
It's really something you don't often get to see in rowing, is that shot that you would like to see, you know, how things are playing out from above. Nice rowing from the two scullers from Riverside there in lane 7. And St. Catharines just coming into the picture now, Taylor Ashwood and Alex Powell. John Butler and Wesley Penny from Peterborough. And we have Santiago and Facundo from Argentina.
And these are accomplished scullers. These guys are very smooth, rowing very smooth. Well past the 1,200-meter mark, coming up to the 1,500-meter mark now, Ali.
And these athletes would have had to weigh in again this morning, as they would have had to do for the heats and semifinals.
Through the 1,500-meter mark with open water, the Argentina crew.
Rowing very well.
Yes. Yes, you mentioned their weight, Ali. They all weighed in at a maximum of 72.5 kilograms. So some of these athletes have been watching their weight all week and having to weigh in every morning, early in the morning, to qualify as a lightweight athlete. A nice shot of the Argentina crew going the last 300 meters.
You can see the Canadian flag there from the finish tower. Definitely looks like that headwind is starting to pick up for these guys.
A small chop across the water, but still really good conditions for racing, Ali. There we are from the grandstand camera watching the crews come into the last 200-meter mark, 200 meters to go.
John and Wes from Peterborough certainly not giving up the fight.
No, they're probably taking up the rate and going for it. They don't want to leave anything off. As we mentioned before, all it takes is one bad stroke, and they want to be in a position to take advantage of anything.
They look like they're closing, but is it enough to take away that lead that the Argentinian crew has built in?
A couple of strokes away, and there they are crossing the finish line, very tired. Looks like Peterborough coming across second. And those guys are very happy. It's a long way to come, and this has been a successful trip.
Absolutely, worth the trip, winning by just over 3 seconds on top of Peterborough in second. St. Catharines making up quite a bit of ground, I think, to come in third.
Riverside in fourth, with Amadeus and Saratoga to round out the field.
Nice congratulations there. Not a bad view for some of the local St. Catharines residents, Port Dalhousie residents.
Yes, that would be a great spot to live, Ali. We could look out the back window and watch races.
I'd be okay with that.
Yes. And a very happy crew coming over there. It's been called over to the grandstand to receive their medals.
I remember a couple of years ago, in 2015, we hosted the Pan American Rowing Championships on this course. And Team Argentina were one of my favorites because they wanted to trade all their gear with us.
Yes, that's traditional at regattas. They swap gear. And here we have a shot, Ali, of the senior women's lightweight straight four in the starting gates now, getting ready for their race. It's about 3 minutes away. So they'll just be getting aligned. The starters will be telling them, they tell the crews when there's 2 minutes before the start, so all the athletes know that to prepare that last little few seconds of preparation.
This will be a straight final event. So these girls, there's only 5 boats: St. Catharines, South Niagara, Wyandotte, Ottawa, and Argonaut Rowing Club from Toronto.
Yes, these crews won't have seen each other in semifinals or heats, so they'll all be watching early in the race, pushing each other early to try and shake off the people that aren't committed enough.
I definitely see some familiar names from the senior lightweight women's rowing circuit. Andrea Jansen, one athlete out of, she's rowing for St. Catharines, grew up rowing for Leander Boat Club. And she was just a little kid. Her dad would recruit her to come out in coxie. So she's kind of a multi-talented athlete. We also have the South Niagara 4, Julia, Peyton, Sarah, and Becca, 4 recent graduates.
There's a nice shot of the flags, Ali, showing the wind at the finish line. Up and down, probably gusting a little bit, but still really good race conditions. There's the Argentina crew just getting their trophies, plaque.
Great shot there of Stan holding that trophy. These trophies are really impressive.
And we're back at the start. We're back at the start with the lightweight fours, lightweight women's fours, straight fours.
And I am Santiago Potts.
Congratulations, guys. I know you've got to go. Another race today?
No,
we're finishing.
The last one.
Okay, excellent. Congratulations. Do you just want to take a moment and say anything to the folks at home in Argentina?
Yes. Saludos, bueno, para toda mi familia que me bancó, al Club Regatas La Marina y a todos los que nos ayudaron a conseguir esto.
Yo también agradezco mucho a mi familia, compañeros, club, gente de selección, todos aquellos, la gente que permitió que nosotros podamos viajar, que nos dan el apoyo siempre para todo lo que necesitamos, así que muchas gracias a todos.
Excellent. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right, here we are back at the senior women's lightweight straight four. We've watched this race start. They're coming up to the 500-meter mark in this event.
Really strong rowing. There you can see Ottawa and the Argonaut Rowing Club. Bousey, Alex, Michael John, Shona Taylor, Rachel Dick, and Megan Lewicki. I know Alex and Meg are both multi-Henley gold medal winners in various women's lightweight sweep events.
We probably have some accomplished athletes out there, but it looks like Argonauts is leading this race over the crew in lane in lane 1, St. Catharines in second. But a very tight race early in this event.
These ladies are racing for the Henley Island Helpers 30th Anniversary Trophy. The Henley Island Helpers were organized in 1963, a group of women whose husbands and sons were involved in rowing, and they felt they needed to raise funds to support the St. Catharines Rowing Club Old Boys Association, the Rowing Club, and the Henley Aquatic Association. They raised money by selling hot dogs, which you might enjoy today, juice from the clerk's booth, box lunches at dances, and by putting on fashion shows, penny sales, and flea markets. The funds they raised were used to purchase rowing shells, oars, and other equipment. In 1993, the Henley Island Helpers celebrated 30 years of working for the betterment of rowing and donated this trophy to mark the anniversary.
Ali, here we are, a shot from our drone camera. On the right-hand side of the screen, and over in lane 7 is the Argonaut crew leading this race by probably 3/4 of a length over the St. Catharines crew in lane 3 to the left of the field there.
A little bit of a course correction in lane 4 from South Niagara there, but it looks like they've gotten back on track. Now, those are girls in grade 11, 12, maybe first year university, but they are experienced rowers. They have medals from Stotesbury Cup, Henley medals, CSSRA medals, so I wouldn't count those girls out either.
And Ali, these are straight fours again, and we say straight fours. There's no coxed steering this boat. The stroke man is steering the boat at the same time they're concentrating on the pace of the race. And they steer with their footstop, which pivots on the heel and is attached to that rudder. Passing the 1,000-meter mark, coming into that third 5. I think it's still the Argonauts leading this race.
Absolutely. Alex Michael John doing double duty this weekend as both a coach and an athlete.
There's a nice shot of the course, Ali, the third 5. The umpire boats following the race. They'll be watching very closely. These boats can quickly go off course and interfere with each other. So the umpire boats will be right up there, making sure that they don't interfere.
With only 5 boats in the race, it's a little bit of an easier job for these umpires and the officials, but their drivers on these pontoon boats are all volunteers this weekend.
Ali, there's hundreds of volunteers here this weekend from different parts, but many people spend their week vacation to volunteer here at the Henley.
It really takes a village. There's no way a regatta like this would get off the ground with the handful of people working on it. It takes an awful lot of people. So this year, I know the volunteers have special t-shirts, and if you see a volunteer, just say a quick thanks, and I'm sure it goes a long way.
Here we have the Argonaut Club, a crew coming up to the 1,500-meter pylon. They appear to be in control of this race and have open water, definitely open water going through the 1,500-meter mark.
Meg Lewicki from that Dawn's boat, as well as Rachel Dick, last year won this event, but they were rowing for Hanlon Boat Club, also in Toronto.
And still rowing really nice. This is a beautiful shot, nice clear camera shot. I hope the people at home can see this wonderful rowing. There's the South Niagara crew in the foreground of the shot, the Ottawa crew in the middle of the picture there now, and just going into the last 250.
You can also notice in that Argonaut boat, they have a bucket rig. So the 2-seat and 3-seat are both port sides, where bow seat and stroke seat are rowing on starboard.
Here you can see, Ali, the umpire giving instructions to probably the St. Catharines crew with the flag, because they might be going out of their lane. They're probably going out of their lane, and the umpire will be directing them on which way they have to steer so they don't interfere with other crews. And there's the Argonaut crew, 15 strokes from the finish line.
Really bringing the rate up here. This might be one of their last events of the weekend. They could be, done racing after this. They're going to give it their all.
Ali, we can see a little chop on the water from this shot. It's close, it's not rough. As coaches, we would say this is chop, not rough, but it makes it a little harder to row in.
No trouble for the girls from the Argonaut Rowing Club, though. They came across the line. Looks like there's nobody else around them, but certainly their competition is still working hard.
Yes, very tired. Long way to go.
A big congratulations to Alex, Shona, Rachel, and Meg.
We talked earlier about the men, Ali, that weighed in this morning at 72.5 kilograms. The women weighed in this morning at 59 kilograms maximum. And so that's an equal weight for all the crews and all the athletes in this race. Rowing being a power sport, the heavyweights do have an advantage, and they've had lightweight rowing in the regatta here since 1904. And it allows the lightweights or the people that are smaller in stature to compete and have very competitive racing.
Yeah, I think, size in this case, they might be a little bit smaller than those open weight athletes, but look at that. It's a nice shot of the South Niagara girls waving at their friends.
Yes, yes. Yes, these athletes will be congratulating each other when they get back to the dock on the island, and I'm sure thinking about the next time they get to race each other.
Yeah, I know 2 of them have at least 1 more year of high school, and 2 of them will be off to university in the fall, so that's pretty exciting to see them racing in the senior women's straight 4 final.
Ali, here's an exciting race we have coming up. We have a shot now of the starting gates and the under-19 women's pair in the starting gate. And it's now Dawn in lane 2, Vesper in lane 3, Brockville in lane 4, Westernville in lane 5, South Niagara in lane 6, and Saratoga in lane 7. This race is only a minute away, scheduled for 4:15. And as you can see on your clocks at home, this regatta runs very close to being right on time in perfect conditions like this.
Nice shot there. I can pick out a couple of Argo's junior rowers who are probably there cheering on Alex, their coach, and some of the other athletes from the Argonaut Rowing Club.
Yeah, it's a fun place to be. You can really watch some nice rowing in some really close finishes in some of the races, and it's a really fun place to be watching the Henley Regatta.
The U19 women's pair, those athletes are racing for the Tom McGuinness Memorial Trophy. Tom McGuinness was known affectionately as Pa. He got involved in rowing when his granddaughter, Lisa Terryberry, took up the sport when she was just 11 years old. He drove her to practices, helped her cruise on the dock, and cheered her on through high school and her first year of university. Likewise, he supported his daughter, Kathy, when she took up masters sculling. When Lisa and Cara Farquharson won the junior women's pair for South Niagara Rowing Club in 2002, he was so upset there was no trophy for the event. And so, after he passed away, his family decided a fitting way to honor him, and his dedication to them would be a trophy for that event in his memory. So each Henley members of Pa's family make the presentation of that trophy.
Ali, I look back at this race started with 34 entries on Thursday, and I looked at the semifinals. All the crews finished within 2 seconds of each other in the semifinals. The crew from South Niagara was only 0.08 ahead of the crew from Dawn's in lane 2. And the crew from Brockville, only 0.02 hundredths of a second ahead of the Saratoga crew. So this should be a really, really good race.
I think we can expect an exciting finish for sure.
In the end, the fastest time is the crew from Westerville in lane 5. And there we are coming up to the 500-meter pylon.
Westerville, coming from Westerville, Ohio, they row on the Hoover Reservoir.
And I'm thinking it's Westerville, half a boat over Vesper, who's just ahead of Dawn in lane in third place, going through the 500-meter mark.
Absolutely anybody's race.
Oh yes, this is a long way to go. And these pairs are a hard boat. They say this is the hardest boat to row, Ali. It has to be balanced between the two people all the time, and it can quickly go off course.
I've taken about 10 strokes in a pair before with an athlete that I was coaching, and that was enough for me to decide it was a challenge.
There's the umpire with the flag, Ali, directing the cruise.
And the umpires are definitely there to make sure things are fair, but they really just want to make sure every girl out there has the best possible race they can.
Absolutely. And you can see how they're following very close behind the crews, not impeding, but following very close to make sure that they don't interfere with one another.
Great shot in the corner of the Argonaut Senior Lightweight Women's 4, hoisting their trophy. No trouble from the Dawn Rowing Club pair with the steering there. They row on a winding river in Port Credit, Ontario.
This looks like our shot from the grandstand, looking well up the course. Ali, the crew in the yellow, and of course, is the South Niagara Rowing Club in the middle of the screen. And there's the Westerville crew on the right-hand side of the screen. And Saratoga on the left-hand side of the screen. So we believe our leader right now is Westerville. These crews will be coming up to the 1,500-meter mark. They're in the third 5, and part of the race that we say is sometimes the toughest. Westerville still look like they're rowing very strong.
And that's Madeline and Victoria rowing for Westerville. A little bit of chop still. You know, it kind of looks like it's coming and going throughout the day. These girls are handling the conditions with no problem. We'll take you now to the Senior Lightweight Women's Straight 4.
Can we get your names, please?
Megan Lewicki.
Rachel Dick.
Shona Taylor.
Alex Micklejohn.
Congratulations, ladies. Is there anyone you want to thank for helping you achieve this victory?
Definitely our coaches, Chris French and Dane Lawson, and the many other coaches we've worked with over the past couple years.
Excellent. Well, quite a few.
Too many to name.
Excellent. Well, thanks to all of them. Congratulations to you. Excellent work today.
Thank you.
That was a really nice moment there with the Senior Lightweight Women's 4 and Meg Lewicki winning that for the second year in a row.
And here we are coming up to the 1,500-meter mark in the under-19 women's pair.
And I'd say, looks like Brockville in lane 4
has moved right up.
rowing really nicely.
This is they were very close going through the 1,500-meter mark, Ali. This will be a very good race between Brockville
and Westerville, just one lane over. These guys are really going for it.
It just shows that third 5. Things can happen in that third 5, Ali. That's a tough part of the race.
Things can change. There's a little bit of wind that they have to contend with, possibly some fatigue if they've been racing other events during the week. Nice shot there of Natasha and Mariana from Dawn Rowing Club.
That's the under 19 women's pair. Just in the last 200 meters of the race, again, the umpire flag, making sure that they don't go out of their lane.
South Niagara and Saratoga just on the other side there, still fighting it out.
There's the Westerville crew, and there's the Brockville crew. It looks like they have a lead, a strong lead now coming into the last part of the race, Holly.
That's Leah and Natalie rowing for Brockville, their coach, Dave Boyd.
Yes, they're looking very strong, very long, comfortable. You can see the choppy water, but they're handling it well, even these ladies under 19.
Just a little bit out of their lane, but I think these guys are still just striding away.
Yes, it looks like a full boat length. It looks like they're going to take this by a full boat length lead, and very happy. Very happy.
Leah and Natalie carrying on a really solid tradition of great rowing coming out of Brockville. 3.44 seconds ahead of Westerville. A really good fight all the way down the course from both crews.
Yeah, and that must have been a tremendous third five, Ali, that they had when we had cut out for a minute, and well rowed, well fought.
I'm sure these girls, with their coach or with their other teammates or a mentor, they probably came up with a really solid race plan, and that would be something that they could execute and they could really rely on to get them through that challenging part of the race.
And there's Leah just waving to the other crews, congratulating them.
I'm sure these girls are familiar with every other boat and every other crew in this race after such a tough fight to get here today.
Brockville Rowing Club, of course, from the other end of Lake Ontario. Been a long, participated a long time at Canadian Henley, and come every year to with some really, really good crews.
Certainly a lot of Olympians that I can think of have come out of Brockville, and you never know, these girls, they could be just on the start of a journey towards maybe the national team, maybe some international racing experience.
Well, that's right. Many athletes start here, and this is a stepping stone and give them experience. This kind of experience with this number of people in this events, and this is really good experience for young athletes.
And for young and old athletes, I know we've got women from the London Training Centre with Rowing Canada who raced in some of the championship events in the heats today and will be in the finals again tomorrow. And they're here just as, dedicated to their training and to their own racing experience. of the Ridley Graduate Boat Club, who donated this trophy to honor him.
Here we have a shot of the race from the finish line. You can see the crews about the 1,200 meter mark. Last we seen Sydney University just to the edge of the screen on the left-hand side, leading the race. Rowing in the third 500 meters.
Sydney University looking very strong. They absolutely are trying to make this trip all the way up to Canada worth their time. I know some of the girls yesterday went, did a little bit of sightseeing. They saw Niagara Falls, but it was lovely. We hosted them in London at Lake Fanshawe for a couple of days as a training camp, and now we'll take you to the winners of the under-19 women's pair.
Can we get your names?
My name's Leah Garrity.
And I'm Natalie Padell.
Congratulations, ladies.
Thank you.
What does this win mean for you?
Everything.
It means a lot. We've been training for this race forever. Like, you know, all those winter times on the erg and everything, you all know what it's for when you get down that race course and you cross the finish line first, and it's an amazing feeling.
We're the only two senior girls in our club right now, so for us to come here and make it to finals, and it's a big thing for us. So.
Yeah.
So it sounds like one single goal and you were able to achieve it with a lot of work.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you very much.
we're back, Ali, looking from the finish line camera into the finish area of the course. We've just finished the women's quad. Sydney University has won the race. And if you're just joining us, this is Mike Purser and Ali Zimmerman, your hosts for this afternoon's racing at the 135th Royal Canadian Henley. What we're watching now, Ali, the senior women's double has started, and they're in the top 500 meters of the race.
This will be an exciting event. We have Peterborough, Calgary, Kingston, Argentina, Vic City, and Nerid.
Ali, this senior women's double, again, a popular event, started with 19 entries on Thursday, and they're down to the top 6 here. Some really good entries, we know, but the crew from Argentina looks like they had the fastest, and they appear to be leading the race now. They had the fastest time in the heats.
Looks like Michelle Truax and Caroline Mikulowski giving them a bit of a push on the outside lane there.
I think you're right, Ali. This is a really good race in the front of this pack.
Certainly, we can definitely expect a great performance from Argentina. They have taken away a medal in almost every event they've entered. Michelle Truax from Victoria City, of course, winning the senior women's single the other day.
A nice shot of the crew from Sydney University accepting their medals and plaques, trophies for the under 23 women's quad race. Happy girls, happy girls.
I hope they've got space in their luggage to bring that plaque back.
I don't think they let them take that trophy home, Ali. They keep that. They get to take the plaque back to their home club in Australia, and then they'll mount that on the wall as part of the remembering of the summer of 2017 and their trip to the Royal Canadian Henley.
Nice trip for those girls.
Yes, yes, some good experience up here with the racing. Here we are looking at the doubles race again, the senior women's double, probably coming up to the 1,000-meter mark now, Ali.
They are racing for the Coopers and Lybrand Trophy. Coopers and Lybrand was a worldwide accounting, auditing, and consulting company. It was formed in 1957 by the merger of a British accounting firm known as Cooper Brothers and Company and an American accounting company known as Lybrand, Ross Brothers, and Montgomery. In 1998, Coopers and Lybrand merged with Price Waterhouse.
Well, you're just a wealth of knowledge. This is very exciting for me, finding out all this information that I never knew about these trophies. This is wonderful.
This is going to make me a Jeopardy champion one day.
Ali, here we are watching the senior women's double coming through the 1,000-meter mark. I think this is the 1,000-meter pylon or lane markers just going overhead now.
Looks to me like you've got Argentina and Victoria City in the center of our screen there.
I think that's a really good race out there, Ali, and they've passed 1,000. They're about the, actually I see a red buoy there in the middle of the screen now. That's the 1,250-meter mark. There's a set of red buoys that cross the course. So the athletes know where they are on the course every 250 meters. The buoys change color. There's just a row of red buoys. But as we talked about, it's Argentina there right in the middle of the screen and Victoria City just to the left of the screen.
We're going to take you to the winners of the under-23 women's quad.
See, you guys just won. Can we get your names?
I'm Serena. I'm Karina. Lauren. Laura.
That's a little bit of similarity there. Congratulations, ladies. Maybe you could just speak to what it's been like, your journey to Canada, and what it means to you to have won here.
So we started training for this after our nationals, which were in March, and we trained in singles for a while, jumped in a crew, it worked, and so we decided we'd race it over here. So we trained in London last week and came down here on Monday.
Excellent. Well, it's been great to have you. Congratulations. Looks like all the training paid off. Yeah. Have a good winter, I guess.
Yeah. Really summer.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ali, we've just watched the doubles rather come through the 1,500-meter mark, and it was very close. Argentina was within a boat length. You can't see the other crew there now, but they were within a boat length of the Victoria City crew. That's just to their left, to our right, just off the screen now.
You can see Kingston, Sarah Rothwell, and Chloe chasing them down from lane 4.
Yes, this is an excellent race. 250 meters to go. They're just getting into the red buoys. The grandstands will probably be watching that and cheering to bring to motivate their crews in the last few strokes.
This has been a fantastic regatta for the athletes from the Argentinian crews.
And here we have our shot from the grandstand camera again. Ali, the Victoria City crew on the left, Argentina on the right. And this is going to be a great race right down to the last stroke. They're taking the stroke rates up, and this is going to be a good push. Wow, this is fantastic. Victoria City is really taking the rate up, and they're pushing.
Both crews really going for it. It's going to be a barn burner of a finish.
And I think the Argentina crew, they're pretty confident. They've just been ahead and putting their hands up. Both crews totally exhausted. What a fantastic race. I would have liked to have been in the finish line, in the grandstand for that one, Ali. That was really well rowed into the last part of that race.
Argentina was probably just pulling till they heard that horn, and 1.2 seconds later, Vic City also listening for that finish line horn.
Kingston coming in third in that race. And as we said, that race started on Thursday with 21 entries. So this was, they've done well to get to the final. We have a shot of the flags, Ali. The wind appears to have picked up in the down by the finish line there.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think it might have just started to rain.
Well, we have, as we look out our windows here from our control booth, we can see the dark clouds. Water still nice. These are nice conditions to row in. The sun isn't hot. The sun isn't beating down because of the clouds, and the water is still relatively nice to row on.
Absolutely. I think Southern Ontario in August, you know, we can get some pretty amazing storms. I know we had an awesome thunderstorm last night, but we've been really lucky so far this week.
Oh, the weather's been beautiful for all the races, Ali. This right from Tuesday, right from the heats that started Tuesday, the water's been calm, and we've had full days of racing every day, and hopefully this will carry on.
You can see the rain just starting down there at the finish line.
Yes, you can.
Cooling off the athletes a little bit.
That looks like very heavy rain, Ali.
I can't believe that.
Here's the Argentina crew coming in, very happy.
Great energy from all the crews from Argentina this week.
Yes, yes. This trip has been a great experience for them to come. I'm sure they don't have regattas this big in Argentina, and this is a really good racing experience. Oh, they're very happy. They're friends for life, Ali. These
Absolutely.
two girls will remember this for a long time.
Good shot of the island there. Again, the Hudson Boat Works trailer. That trailer is totally full. It's on the way here, a lot of the times Hudson's doing deliveries of boats, I know, and on the way back they're usually taking boats from clubs that might need repair work or refinishing.
Of course, Hudson is a Canadian boat builder, world-class boat builder. Oh, and here we've started. We've started the under 23 men's pair, Ali.
This will be our last 2,000-meter race of the day. Then we switch, of course, at 5:11. We'll start with our dash events. We have Henderson Development in lane 2, University of Western Ontario, lane 3, St. Louis, lane 4, Riverside, lane 5, Leander, lane 6, and another Henderson Development crew out in lane 7.
The shot here is from the 500-meter pylon alley, and this is going to be a really good race. This race started Thursday with 29 entries, and so these are the top 6 in this event.
And these are under 23 athletes, sometimes referred to as Senior B. So these guys are, they're experienced athletes, but they're still relatively young guys. A lot of them will be racing for different university programs in September.
Ali, you have a favorite in this race. 2 of the boys that you used to coach are in this race right now.
I'm totally impartial, but former teammates who I've now been helping out coach a little bit, sitting in lane 3.
Here we are coming up to the, and that's a nice shot of them right there, Ali. Here we are coming up to the 500-meter mark. This field is still very close.
Absolutely. You can see the red unis of Leander Boat Club in lane 6.
This is very nice.
But it looks like Henderson, lane 2, UWO, lane 3, and tight behind them, St. Louis in lane 4.
Yes. All the crews still in the race at this point, only at the 500-meter mark. Of course, a long way to go yet. And there we have a good shot of the UWO crew right in the middle of the screen.
Both of these guys started as novice athletes, so when they came to university, they'd had no rowing experience whatsoever.
Ali, you can see the Anderson crew going out of their lane now. I'm sure the umpire will be right on top of that, as they won't want any interference during the race, and they'll be steering them back into their lane now about the 750-meter mark.
Family and coaches in Argentina.
Bueno, quiero mandar saludos a mi familia, a Gabriel, el amor de mi vida, a Oriana principalmente, que gracias a ella pudimos ganar, y a mi entrenador Pedro Espinazzi, que se acaba de retirar del Club Náutica Coba. Esta medalla es para vos, Pedrito.
A mis padres, a mis hermanos, toda mi familia, a mis amigos y a las pelotudas, sobre todo. Nada más, eso.
Congratulations, ladies. Well done.
Gracias. Thank you.
Still looks like a good push between Henderson Development in lane 2 and UWO in lane 3 of the under 23 men's pair final.
Right about the 1,000-meter mark, Ali, in the race, and these this is just halfway over, going into the third 5. We talked about a number of times today how hard that third 5 is for some crews.
We've got Luke and Hunter from Leander Boat Club. Those guys raced in the final of the senior men's pair on Thursday as well. Really accomplished young athletes. They've just come off of a summer racing for Team Ontario at the Canada Summer Games. These guys will be racing for the Bennett Hogan Award. John Bennett and Jim Hogan were oarsmen and coaches at the Westside Rowing Club in 1947. They won the senior pair at the U.S. National Regatta. John Bennett became a director of the club in 1937 and helped organize the 1949 National Rowing Championships held in Buffalo while coaching the champion Senior 8 at that regatta. John also helped start the rowing program at the University of Buffalo in 1967. Jim was a director of Westside in the 40s, club captain in the 60s, and a coach of novice oarsmen into the 70s.
This is a good shot, Ali, of the UWO crew here on our right, and right beside them the crew from St. Louis, in lane 4. Coming up to the 1,500-meter pylon.
Looks like
the Henderson crew, you can just see them coming into the screen now, into the shot now, on the right side of the screen. And they look like they're right in this race.
I think at this point the pack is still pretty tight. This is going to be a great finish.
We're going to see right across to the other pylon now. And there's the Leander crew on the other side of the screen, and this looks like Leander and Henderson in lane 2, Leander in lane 6. There's not a few feet between the two boats, Ali, going into the last 500.
Very exciting, particularly for the Leander crew. I know they've been rowing together since their high school days.
Yes, those two boys, Luke and Hunter, have spent a lot of time in the pair together. You mentioned they were at the Canada Games. They're double gold medalists, winning the pair and in the 8 at the Canada Games. So they will be tough in the last 5. But this race is going to be very close, coming right down to the finish.
Henderson Development having a really great experience at this regatta as well. They're rowing out of the Northeastern Boathouse in Boston.
There's the Leander crew, the Riverside crew in the foreground there. Choppy, the water looks choppy again from the wind, and rowing right into that headwind. They're putting everything they have into this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to make the times a whole lot faster. It just means they got to work a little bit harder, press a little bit harder on the legs to get the splits they might want to be hitting.
Ali, I'm watching that screen, and these guys are taking the rate up. There's the red buoys. They're just coming into the red buoys now. 250 meters to go, and this will be a really, really good finish. If again, I wish I was in the grandstand.
Absolutely. I think the grandstands are the place to be this afternoon. We've had some really tight racing. It looks like it's still going to be lane 2, Henderson Development, and lane 6, Leander. Henderson looking like they're having a bit of trouble with that steering.
Well, Ali, we're not going to be able to call that one.
Wow.
What a finish.
I couldn't call that one.
What a finish that was.
Henderson certainly celebrating pretty hard there, but it looked like Leander was pretty close as well.
Well, and they should be proud of that performance, Ali. That was well done. And there they are waving over at the other guys in the race.
Wow, what a great race between those boats. It looks to me like it's Henderson celebrating there. Lane 2. We've got Aiden and Nicholas.
Well, we should have the results up soon, Ali, unless they have to double check the film. Or we say film, but it's no film anymore, is there, Ali? It's all digital.
Oh, I think we had it there for a second. It did look like Henderson unofficially 0.71 seconds over top of Leander, unofficially.
And as you say, this is our last race before the break, Ali. It's great working with you this afternoon.
You as well, Mike. And if you're just tuning in, we have about a 25-minute break while they set up for the dash events. The dash, of course, only being 500 meters. We'll start with the men's single scull dash at 5:11 p.m. So stay tuned. We're going to take you to the winners of the under-23 men's pair in just a minute or two, and hear what the guys from Henderson have to say about that race.
They'll be getting their medals and trophies first, and probably then getting a chance to speak to Brett at the finish line about their race and their experience being here. But a wonderful afternoon for those guys.
We'll have 8 dash events, followed by the Regatta Sport Dash for Cash. I think that's one race event that's probably unique to this regatta. It's a mixed 8, so you'll see 4 male athletes and 4 female athletes with a coxswain. And it was a lottery this year. They're so popular, they can't just hand out entries. There's a lottery system, and if you get chosen, you get to race for a great prize from Regatta Sport.
And Ali, you'll be coxing one of the crews in that race.
I will. I'll be with Team Alfies in lane 5.
Well, good luck to you. And here, as we're watching on the screen, is just a shot of the grandstands. I don't know what race it is. Ali, I'm not sure what race is on the screen now. That might be a race from the past. Here we are in the grandstands. as the Henderson crew is getting their medals. And that's Jim Schaub, Ali, giving the trophy to the 2 boys from Henderson.
I commented yesterday on their choice. I like the t-shirts. I think it's smart for sun protection, and they look pretty sharp.
Yeah, they'll be very happy. They'll be very happy about that finish. That's a big trophy, Ali.
They look like big guys. I think that's fitting. I know tomorrow we'll see one of the biggest trophies is for the flyweight women's 4. So the smallest athletes get one of the biggest trophies out there.
Well, we'll have to watch them hoist that one up then.
They usually do a pretty good job of counting to 3 and pushing it up over their heads.
There's our shot of the flags at the grandstand. And soon we'll be hopefully having Brent interview the Henderson pair just before our break. And tomorrow, Holly, do we know what time the races start tomorrow?
Tomorrow we start at 10 o'clock in the morning. On Henley Sunday, it's only finals. So we'll be streaming from 10 till about just after 2 p.m. And it's only final events. So the last 2 events of the day will be the championship men's and women's 8s.
But there's some other races tomorrow, championship races that with our national team scholars, the championship men's single and women's single.
Absolutely. I think we can expect some pretty high caliber of racing tomorrow.
So stay with us for after the break to watch the dash races, which are the last 500 meter, the last 500 meters of the course. The race is only 500 meters long. They're always exciting. And crews are always going as fast as they can for those short distances.
We just saw there our photographer, Stan Lipinski. How many years do you think Stan's been taking gold medal photographs for?
Oh, that's a good question, Ali. I know Stan was at St. Catharines Oarsman. I think we're going to cut to Brent at the grandstands.
Here with the winners of the under-23 men's pair, Henderson Development Camp. Can we get your names first?
Nicholas Robertson. Aiden Bridwell.
Congratulations, guys. Maybe just give our viewers a little insight in how the race unfolded from your perspective.
Yeah. Well, we had a slow start. We were last off the line, a little bit of a shaky start, but we really pounded out the first few strokes, and were able to make get in the race, which was good. And from there, the wind really just started to pick up, and from a huge cross tail, and we were getting blown around a lot. The steering was hectic, but we kept in it as best we could, and managed to pull something out for ourselves. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, congratulations, guys. Pair's a tough event. You did really well. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
And we'll be back at about about 10 after 5 for the dash events, but it's been a pleasure watching some racing with you this afternoon, Mike.
This will be a very exciting, this was a very exciting afternoon, Ali. All these races, we saw some great races in great conditions, really happy athletes, and we'll look forward to the finals in the dash later today, and tomorrow the Sunday finals in our last day of Henley.
Absolutely. Grab a snack, and we'll be back in a few minutes with the dash finals.